By the end of this video, you are going to know the best muscle groups to train in order to maximize your looks. Let's get into it. Alright, we got calves, and this is going straight into D tier. Let's be real, no woman cares about your calves. They're just going to make your legs more emphasized, take the spotlight away from your frame. We don't want that, and obviously we don't want these big bulky calves, but we still don't want to be making our legs look bigger. And this is actually why I'm going to put quads in D2, because bigger legs, wider legs are going to take more emphasis off of our frame. And it's not going to give us that V shape anymore. It's going to give us more of an X shape, and we don't really want that. These two exercises we're going to put in D tier. Quads because they widen, take emphasis off our frame. Calves because they add more to our legs, and they can actually make you look shorter in some cases if they're overtrained. But if you still want to train legs, a good one would be glutes and hamstrings, which I'm going to put in A tier. Just because if you train these, you can never really overtrain them, and they will not widen your legs, and they will not give you that X shape and take more emphasis off of your frame. Another good thing is that if you look at woman pulls ranking leg parts, glutes are actually number one, which is surprising. Glutes are emphasized in a lot of sports, and they're actually really good in nature for throwing things, believe it or not. And we use that muscle, or glutes and hamstrings, a lot when we throw, use our legs, use that power to throw stuff and hunt. That's another reason why they could be attractive, because if you have a body part that helps you in nature, it's probably naturally supposed to be attractive. Alright, so we got biceps. This is the best part of the arm, A tier. Way better than triceps. We're going to get into why triceps are way worse, but biceps are just, they're a fundamental, attractive part of the arm. A good example for how biceps are proven to be more attractive than triceps is because there's actually a TikTok trend about girlfriends flexing their boyfriend's biceps, and it was a very popular trend, and a lot of people loved it, and it was just to prove that biceps are actually more attractive than triceps, which I'm going to put in C tier. And this is going to bring it all together for your arms, is because if you overtrain your triceps, it gives you a fatty arm look. It makes you look like you have a fat arm. Only gym bros like big triceps. If you have big biceps, it looks way more aesthetic than if you have big triceps. So train your biceps more than your triceps. Don't forget about your triceps, obviously, but just overtrain your biceps a lot more than your triceps. Alright, shoulders, we got S tier. Come on now. This will emphasize your frame the most. Say you're born with a bad frame, right? You have weak skeleton, bones, you were fed goy slop as a kid. You can still frame fraud a little bit with some shoulder, with some lateral raises. Alright, this is going to emphasize your frame the most. So train shoulders a lot if you have a bad frame. It's going to give you that V taper. And right along with that is lats. And the good thing about lats is that if you train them, they'll actually sit under your arms and make them look like they're going out wider. And you are actually not going to be able to get a V taper without training your lats. It's a very important muscle to train and to just make your frame wider. Alright, next we got lower chest. Putting this in C tier. I'm actually going to put it in front of triceps, because a lower chest, overtraining it could look very feminine, and we don't want that, of course. And if you look back in ancient times, Greek gods actually always had flat chests, and even some in the early bodybuilding, when it first started happening, there was always flat chests. A flat chest was actually a lot more common, and we've had it for a lot longer than these big bulky chests. And why is that? It's because frame is law. Frame is the most important thing, and if you have a big chest, it actually takes emphasis away from your frame. And also, if you look in nature, big chests aren't really needed. We aren't really pushing stuff that much. We're more throwing stuff, which is what our shoulders and arms are used for. Our back muscles, our glutes, stuff like that. But upper chest is a lot better. I would put it at the bottom of A tier, almost at B tier, but you can never really overtrain your upper chest. You do use it a little bit more in nature for throwing stuff, and it is a little bit more aesthetic than the lower chest. So definitely train your upper chest a lot more than your lower chest. I wouldn't really train your lower chest that much. Never do decline press, and do flat bench press like once in a while. Alright, we got lower back. I'll put this at the C tier. It's not really that important. Don't stress about it too much. Train it once in a while to even out your back. Of course, it's important, but don't do deadlifts and stuff to train it. Never do deadlifts. Alright, then we got traps. I'm going to put this in B tier, and then I'm going to put neck in B tier. Now, both of these could actually go in straight S tier. Yeah, they could go in straight S tier depending on what you have. So I'm going to give you an example. If you have a long neck you want to train your traps more. But if you have a short neck, you want to train your neck more. So this is 50-50 for each person. That's why I put it in B tier, because it's 50-50 in the middle. So just figure out what you have. If you have a long neck, train your traps more. If you have a short neck, then train your neck more. And why is this? It's because a long neck that trains your neck will actually make you look very, very weird. When if you have a short neck and you train your traps, it will also make you look very, very weird. It looks like you're sitting in a body. So figure out what you have. This is actually very important still. It's a very masculine trait. Everyone needs to be training either traps or neck. And if you have like a medium neck, then just train both of them. All right, next we got forearms. This is very important. S tier, of course. Forearms are always seen almost all the time, even when you're wearing clothes, which is very important for LooksMaxxing. It is seen way more attractive than a lot of body parts. I think mainly because it's used in nature, one. It's seen the most too, and it can be shown as a manly trait to be able to grip stuff, to be able to throw stuff. Examples of this are Reddit threads, TikTok posts, all types of stuff. You can just see that this is seen as an attractive trait that have very masculine, muscular forearms. And then last but not least, we got abs, S tier. And I'm talking muscular abs, not skinny abs, real muscular abs. And the reason I put this in S tier is because they are very rare, even in the gym community. And 90% of gym bros still don't have abs, which is kind of crazy. So they are a very rare and even attractive body part. And they're attractive, but the reason that they're so attractive is because they're rare. That's what I think. So you're going to stand out. You want to stand out when you want to look good. And having abs is going to make you stand out a lot. So this is definitely a body part that you do not want to skip. You want to actually prioritize abs because they are very important for standing out, and you want to stand out to look good. So I hope you like the list. Comment down below if you have any thoughts, and hope to see you in another video. Thanks for watching.